Welcome to Awakening Heaven on Earth. Before we begin, take a moment to arrive. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to believe, and nowhere you need to go. Simply listen, contemplate, and notice what stirs and resonates within you. This is a shared space of reflection, presence, and remembrance. Now, let us begin. Welcome to this sacred text reflection from the Unity Journey. In this episode, we listen to the wisdom of many traditions that speak to the same eternal moment, the awakening of the soul. Across cultures, religions, and centuries, spiritual teachers have described a moment when the human heart begins to remember its true nature. This practice follows the ancient rhythm of Lectio Divina. First, we listen to the sacred words. Then we reflect on their meaning. Then we allow them to sink into the heart. And finally, we rest in silence, allowing wisdom to awaken within us. Let us begin. From the Christian tradition. The letter to the Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 14. Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give you light. These words speak to the moment of spiritual awakening. The sleeper is not physically asleep, but spiritually unaware. To awaken is to recognize that divine light already lives within the soul. In this passage, Christ represents the living presence of divine consciousness, the light that reveals truth and dissolves illusion. Reflect quietly within yourself. Where in your life might the light of awakening be calling you to rise? Rest with this invitation. From the Hindu tradition. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 30. He who sees me in all things and all things in me is never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to him. Here, the divine reminds us that awakening is not merely personal enlightenment. It is the realization that the same sacred presence lives within all beings. To see the divine everywhere is to awaken from the illusion of separation. When we see unity in all things, we discover that we have never been truly separate from God. Reflect gently. Can you sense the same sacred presence moving through your life and the lives of those around you? Rest in that awareness. From the Buddhist tradition. The Dhammapada, Chapter 1, Verse 1. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. This teaching reminds us that awakening begins within the mind. Our perceptions shape our experience of reality. When the mind awakens to truth, our entire life begins to transform. The Buddha taught that liberation arises through awareness, seeing clearly the patterns of thought that shape our lives. Reflect quietly now. What thoughts have shaped the story of who you believe yourself to be? And what new truth might your soul now be ready to embrace? Rest with these questions. From the Islamic tradition. The Holy Quran, Chapter 13, Verse 28. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find rest. In the Islamic spiritual path, awakening is often described as remembrance. The Arabic word dhikr means remembering the divine presence. According to this teaching, the human heart already knows God. Spiritual practice simply helps us remember what has always been true. Reflect within yourself. When have you felt the quiet peace? That comes from remembering the sacred presence within you. Rest in that peace. From the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas, saying 70. That which you have will save you if you bring it forth. This teaching speaks directly to the awakening within the human soul. The wisdom we seek is not something outside us. It already lives within. Awakening happens when the divine spark within the soul is allowed to emerge into awareness. Reflect now. What truth within you is waiting to be brought forth? Rest in silence. Across traditions, as a shared message begins to appear. Awakening is not the discovery of something new. It is the remembrance of what has always lived within the human soul. The light, the presence, the sacred awareness we seek has never been absent. It waits quietly for us to awaken. Take one slow breath in. And gently release it. Allow the wisdom of these sacred traditions to rest within your heart. For the awakening you seek is already unfolding within you. Rest in silence. As we come to a close, remember that this journey continues in many expressions. This podcast is part of a family of partner podcasts. Awakening Heaven on Earth. The space between heaven and earth and Living Heaven on Earth are 3 companion podcasts exploring spiritual awakening from complementary perspectives. Awakening Heaven on Earth offers the core teachings and mystical reflections on unity, love, and conscious living. The space between creates room for dialogue, reflection, and lived conversation around those teachings. Living Heaven on Earth focuses on basic spiritual practices that help embody these insights in daily life. Together, they form a unified journey of understanding, experience, and integration, inviting listeners to remember their connection with the divine, with one another, and with the living world. You can find all of them available on the same podcast streaming platforms wherever you listen. And if music helps carry these teachings deeper into the heart, the Unity, Awakening Heaven on Earth album is available on all major music streaming services as a musical companion to this journey. Wherever you engage, through listening, reflection, conversation, or music, may it gently remind you you are not separate. You belong to the one life, and heaven is already unfolding within you. Until next time, walk gently, love deeply, and embody heaven on earth.